36 in Park. Repeat, all units be advised. Shots fired at Fisk Towers.
Yuri, I'm here.
What do you see?
Find the rest. Boss wants them dead.
Looks like the demons are moving in on Fisk's territory.
You got this?
I got this.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. So many of you requested a Spider-Man PS4 video. I figured I'd do a breakdown and Easter eggs for all this footage they dropped. They dropped like 9 minutes of gameplay, and it's actually pretty cool. There is a Spider-Man giveaway that's going on right now for the action figures, and it's actually pretty cool. We saw the trailer last year, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that you may have spotted in this. Most notably, Miles Morales and Genki at the end is sort of an Easter egg implying that they'll be playable characters eventually in the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to avoid talking over the characters talking in the game, so I'll just drop the audio whenever they start the cinematics. But the early part here where he's talking about the demons, he's talking about Mr. Negative's men. This trailer is hyping up Mr. Negative as one of the villains, one of the many villains. Remember, Arkham style, all of Batman's characters were in that game. They're teasing so many more things going on here, but Mr. Negative is just the early boss of the game, along with the Wilson Fisk Easter egg, who is still stuck in prison. The really cool thing about this is they said they took a lot of inspiration from Marvel's Netflix series, and they also said they played a lot of Batman Arkham, which I think is funny. Like, yeah, we're making a Spider-Man game, we're just gonna spend a whole lot of time playing Arkham games. But as this picks up, you notice the costume looks different from the Homecoming costume in the MCU. He's supposed to be 23 in this game. He's been Spider-Man for several years, and the person he's talking to on the other line in the police, Yuri, is actually Yuriko Watanabe, who becomes Wraith in the comics. So pretty much all the big characters in this are big characters from Spider-Man comics.
Hey, Willie.
You.
Nice jumpsuit. Slimming.
Stay out of my business.
Wait, the demons. Who's their leader?
Keep my men alive and maybe I'll tell you.
Saving bad guys from other bad guys. Not how I thought today would go.
The interesting thing about this fight here is that you take down Mr. Negative's men. It doesn't allow you to just chuck them over the side of the building. So great power, great responsibility. There's a lot of Spider-Man's morality that's baked into the gameplay that you can't change. So it's not like Spider-Man's gonna be walking around dropping bodies on a dime.
Hey, big guy. That's actually really cool. Fisk, your men are safe. Your turn. Who runs the demons?
You're about to find out. Check the roof.
He's here?
Mr. Negative's powers are actually really interesting. Like, during this footage, he tries to get him to chill out. He's like, this isn't you. And he says, you don't know the real me. Mr. Negative was corrupted by the Dark Force, so there's a good part of his personality and there's a bad part of his personality. So when Spider-Man is talking to Martin in this footage, he's trying to talk to the good part of his personality. But a lot of these acrobatics you'll see in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, you're not going to see something this crazy though. You have to remember, Tom Holland has only been Spider-Man for a little while, so he has that big plane save in the trailer. You'll see stuff like this when we get to the second Spider-Man Homecoming movie, the third movie, when post-Avengers Infinity War Spider-Man has his skills raised up big time.
The guy who runs the homeless shelter?
Like I said, complicated. Sit tight, Yuri. I got this.
You see this Easter egg for Osborn for mayor, so obviously Green Goblin's in there. Like I said, Arkham style, all of Batman's Rogues Gallery are in those games. All of Spider-Man's characters are somewhere in here, but they haven't completely revealed how you're going to run into all of them. But Mr. Negative is not the big boss of the game, and neither is Wilson Fisk, the way he's talking to Spider-Man in this trailer. So start laying your theories for Big Bad now. It could be a member of the Sinister Six. It could be the Jackal. They were actually teasing the Jackal in the future of the Spider-Man Homecoming franchise. Not for the current Spider-Man movie, but for the next one or even the third one. They're just a Warren character that's going to show up during the movie. Miles Warren is the Jackal in the comics.
Okay, lady, here I come. Hi, is this the flight to Newark? Why are you doing this?
Because no one else will!
Lee, this is crazy! This isn't you!
You don't know me!
Need a plan. The plan real fast.
So I know there's been a lot of talk about the next Xbox, Xbox X, which is kind of a funny way to call it. This is Sony, that's why it's PS4. You see that really crazy vertical integration. Sony wants your money really bad. So if you're thinking about switching to Xbox for the next iteration and you really want this game, you're probably just better off sticking with the PS4. But this isn't going to drop till 2018, so you'll actually probably know what's going on with the next Spider-Man movie before you get a chance to play this. Like, they'll start talking about Spider-Man Homecoming 2, or whatever they're going to call it, Spider-Man Prom. They'll start talking about that later this summer at Comic-Con. But let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about a big Arkham-style Spider-Man game? I feel like a lot of big AAA games are headed the direction of Arkham, especially in this comic book universe, because there's way too many characters to fit into a really linear game. So this open area gameplay where you can roam around, do side missions, interact with characters in really cool cinematic ways, this is what you want. So when the game gets a little bit closer to dropping, I'll actually give away